Auburn 2144.
Ah, there's your problem.
There's your problem. So at the moment, they've stopped doing stories about Salim Mahaja, and they've gone on to do stories about
There was
this
a bin fire, wasn't it, Salim Mahaj?
Now, listen, what do you think was actually on the bin, Az? What do you think?
I'm going to say it was profanity-laced.
Yeah, you're right. The bin was
possibly threatening.
Well, yes. The bin was covered in swear words, threats, and multiple references to Unit 6. Now, you know how have you read George Orwell's 1984?
Many times.
Many times. And it was on TV.
I live it every day.
It was on Foxtel the other day, and I watched it and I went, God, they do spend a lot of time threatening what's inside, room 101. Mm-hmm. And then they talk about room 101. Mm-hmm. Then they go into room 101, and then it just happens to be rats in a face cage for Paul Winston.
Yeah, that's not cool, though.
It is not cool, and it was very shocking. I think the most shocking part about that movie was the girl who played Julia. She was all bushed up.
Oh, wasn't she bushed?
Oh, it was bushed. And
they didn't have razors in the dystopian future, apparently.
No, that's it. They're fighting Eurasia, and then...
But were they?
But whatever.
But anyway, actually...
She's all bushed up, right?
And that was one of the first incidences of titty and bush that we actually ever got in a school classroom environment.
Oh, that's right. They made us watch it at school.
And then we're all like, tits. And then it was like, oh my God, look at her bush.
And then do you think all the girls that were in the classroom were offended, or were they
just a bit uncomfortable going, maybe it's time for a bit of ladyscaping?
Yeah, exactly right.
Because, it was that time when you started to get hairy? Coming out in new places.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, we're going deep now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're moving it. We'll come back to the bins in a minute.
Yep.
We'll put the bins out in a minute. But do you think the classmates, when we were studying that book and having to watch the movie, because I only think that they brought the VCR and the TV in, right? Mm. And those TVs were never stock standard. They were all different in each unit in the school, right?
Because, obviously there was units like pinching TVs and stuff.
No.
They were screwed onto the things, remember?
Except
for that one we pinched in year 12.
We didn't do that. So anyway, do you think the girls that were in the classroom were just like going, yeah, might escape. Might need a little bit of escaping.
Did you?
But then again, with to flip that argument onto...
It was the 90s.
Yeah, but do you think the blokes were just going, were they looking upstairs or downstairs? Do you think they were considering...
You tilt your head to the side and you get one away for each.
Really?
No.
Okay. But I was just horrified. I'm just gonna say it. I was horrified because it was just it was so thick and dark, and it was bush.
It was bush. It was like a 70s porno.
Well, pretty much. They probably filmed it in the early 80s. When did the world tip over the scale and go, nah, let's go? Well, that's the natural look.
Very natural.
Jesus, all the femos, vegans listening now are just going to hate this.
Aren't they?
Thing is, I'm not going to ask your preference, but it was very confronting. I don't think they actually... Did they send a note home saying we're going to watch...
They just dumped it on us. They thought we were mature enough in 3-unit English.
Yeah.
We weren't.
We weren't.
I spent the...
We're 40 years old and we're still
not mature enough. But I must say... And everyone I went to school with, I apologise, but I think you probably were guilty of this as well. But when the bush appeared on screen, and everyone got that slight little bit of uncomfortableness with the giggle, and you looked around,
or a titter,
yes, as it were, and you looked around your class, and you looked at all your female classmates, and you're going, wonder if they all look like that. You know what I mean? It was a simpler time.
Wow, what about when they showed the live birth in science? Remember that video?
Oh my God, I do.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was one of my favourite phases.
I remember I was sitting in science, and I was sitting next to a girl that I wanted to get with, and then
like maybe not,
and then that happened, and I was just like, I'm going to need to rethink my life here for at least a period of two. Oh, that's a wrong word to use.
Dear. Back to the bins. Put the bins out, Benny.
All right, the handles of the bin have also been fitted with a single zip tie on each side, presumably to spike anyone trying to lift the lid.
Nice.
Now, the scrawlings on the bin include so many references to Unit 6 and Unit 6 only. And now, to present what is actually written on the bins, we've decided to go a different tact here, okay? Because us just reading it, it's not funny. So we're going to do it in the style of ABC TV's Media Watch. And this is what's written on the bin.
Sick of you cockroaches filling up my bin? You lazy can't walk 20 feet to your bin. Beware, don't get caught.
No! Wow.
It does work better.
It does.
But it also went on to say,
Go f off and use your own bin, or you'll be in the bin next week.
Oh, that's the most Aussie thing ever, isn't it?
mate, there's another one.
Oh, good.
Stop filling my bin up. This is the last warning. Got it?
So, look, there are some people who have thought that the expletive-filled tirade on the bin lid was a great idea. So people are starting to comment, and this is where journalism's going to hell, because I'll tell you why. Because basically all that they're doing on news sites in Australia, they'll comment on some great news, and they'll give that to the real journalists, but then they'll leave the rest of it to go, here's what happened on Love Island, here's what happened on The Bachelor, basically, I'm not doing any journalism. I'm just reposting everything that was on social media.
Control C, Control V. Oh my God, my wrist hurts.
Now, listen, all of these comments, basically, some of them were like, and now we're getting accused of doing the same thing. Tell that guy in Unit 6 to go bank himself. Once you put the bin outside your property, it becomes public property, you fool.
Actually, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. That's right.
Council property.
It is. Well, you can. So, say for example, you put something in the bin mistakenly. Say for example, you put your wife's handbag in the bin and you didn't mean to do so.
Right.
Someone comes along. So we've got one of those decrepit that drive around a ute and go fishing through your recycling bin for cans.
Yep.
So they can take it down the cannery and get the recycle on it and, the return and earn.
Mm-hmm.
Find the bag in there, but they're spotted on your CCTV camera pinching the bag out of your bin. You can report that. That's still your property until the point it gets picked up.
That's right. And it's actually a criminal offence called steal by find.
Yes. So it's still by find. That's exactly how it works. Sorry about that. One other person posted, I want to go put rubbish in this bin and just to get abused. Another person said, relax, mate, it's a bin.
My favourite, though, Benny, is the question is, which unit does this bin belong to? I think that's, there's always one wag that puts that out there, isn't there?
Someone also said, I'm not sure if this bin is just for Unit 6.
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
All right, time for the speed round. Let's hit that bell. An on-the-run former male model who claims that he's better looking than David Beckham has sent the 5-0 over in England a selfie to help them with their appeal ace. Now, if you were on the run, remember the postcard bandit? What was his name in Australia?
I have the postcard bandit.
The postcard bandit. He kept sending postcards from everywhere, taunting the police car.
Yeah.
Can't catch me,
That's back before IP addresses and triangulating mobile phone signals and whatnot.
That's correct. Okay, so Stephen Murphy's 33 years old. He's wanted by police in Lincolnshire as they issued his mugshot to try and track him down. Now, apparently, the former Mr. Boston...
What the is a Mr. Boston?
I have no idea. No idea. He put the selfie in a section of his local newspaper when they ran a story asking if anyone knew where he was. So he's also known as Junior V. Murphy.
What the
No idea. Look at his nappy-ass hair. It looks like...
Well, no wonder he sent another mugshot in. He's got frosted tips. When were they cool? And he also looks like a thumb. Scroll back up. You can't tell me he doesn't look like a thumb.
Oh, he's got a neck tat. Is that a neck tat of an olive branch?
It looks like it.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, he's wanted for failing up to turn up to court, where he faced charges of causing criminal damage in Boston on the 8th of May. He's also been mocking police on his own Facebook page, uploading pictures of them saying, I run this town, not you. Yeah, bad idea, bro. He's also got a topless picture of himself with around £100 in 20-pound notes laid out on his chest.
Really?
Where is it? There it is.
Oh, my God.
And he's got the aviator glasses on there as well.
I take it back. He doesn't look like a thumb. He looks like a penis.
He is a penis. I don't do a lot of naked sunbaking.
And we're thankful for that, Benny.
The reason why I do that is I'm just so milky white that, I would distract pilots. I live near an airport.
And you've got the bush.
I'm all thatched up. You could plant pumpkins and water the shit.
You got hobbits living in there.
Don't do naked sunbathing, okay? Just don't do it because experts say a fearsome bird mistook a man's exposed privates as a couple of birds' eggs and dropped in for a tasty snack.
Yeah.
The man, who's not been named for obvious reasons, because who wants to be known on some shithouse podcast or in the global news on social media? You were the guy that had your testicles ripped off by a seagull.
One nut bird, man.
Anyway, he fell asleep on his patio and his detached home in Ipswich, the seagull swooped from the sky and with one bite of its beak ripped away his right testicle. The gripping scenes that could have been written by Stephen King, for example. He woke up screaming in agony and saw the bird flying away with one of the crown jewels wedged in its beak. Now, his wife called the AMBO, and the staff at Ipswich Hospital's Accident and Emergency Department had to patch him up and give him a course of antibiotics to prevent infection.
Hooray, emergency room.
Now, listen, a hospital source has said no one could quite believe it when the guy was brought in. There was a lot of blood. He was in agony, and he will feel better in a couple of weeks. The injury that they've said is not so life-threatening. Tests have confirmed that his remaining testicle is still working, so he'll be able to have kids.
How do they check that his other one's still working? They give him like a Playboy and a cup?
I don't know the ins and outs of how they do medical testing, as I really don't.
It's a question for the ages, though.
Think about this for a second, okay? just think
It's
about
a staggering turn of events.
it. It is. Now, listen, I taunt seagulls whenever I go beachside.
Yeah, I know.
With hot chips.
Yes.
And they get the shits and then they arc their neck and then they do that thing like that. And chips are not the best thing to give seagulls.
No.
I think Australia has a lot to answer for the bird population digging through bins, hanging outside Macca's, especially that Macca's across the road from Circular Quay train station.
Oh, with all the bin chickens.
With all the bin chickens and all that kind of stuff, all right? We've caused that, right?
Yeah.
Never heard of a seagull trying to go and rip a crown jewel out.
But why would a seagull go for an egg? Wouldn't it want to sit on his nads rather than, like, don't birds sit on eggs?
Well, their own eggs, I guess.
But how does a testicle look like an egg?
And the other question is,
You must have some big nads.
to be perfectly honest, this patio, now, was he undercover in the patio? Because most patios are covered, right?
You'd think so.
So how did the bird spy? I spy with my little eye.
Apparently birds have got pretty good eyesight.
What, seagulls?
Well, most birds.
But it just flew down and just went, nah, rip, gone.
Maybe it looked like a hot chip. I don't know.
Look,
Maybe it had really long nuts rather than
like
round
you mean
ones.
old man balls.
Yeah. Or look like, a discarded fish and chip wrapper. And the seagull's just gone, oh, yeah, I'm going to get me some hot chips here.
Jesus Christ.
But, you got to think.
Now, this didn't happen. When I say Ipswich, I don't mean Ipswich, Queensland. I'm talking the UK. Now,
Okay, so that explains why he was able to sunbathe naked in Ipswich, because otherwise he would have just burnt to a crisp.
that's exactly right. And their patios over there, I don't know exactly how they work. Don't they have like those short-form terrace houses that are all joined together by a common wall?
Yeah, mostly.
Who wants to look out their window to see, put...
Pasty white Englishman.
Yeah, someone's just there all nutted up in the bloody backyard.
Maybe it was that male model that was on the run.
Could have been. All commando, balls flopping this side, that side is dough. Because you can't
Do you
control.
reckon he had it straight down, up, to the left or to the right?
Who tucks their nuts up on you?
No, not at nuts, the Frank, not the beans.
Well, I don't know what the... Yeah, well, it depends.
Well, where would... This is we're asking the important questions.
Muscle...
If you were laying naked on a patio,
Yeah, righto.
would you have your old fella up, down, left or right? Would you cover the boys? Would you have it pointing up? Would you have it over a leg?
Can you believe, Burblers, that I'm actually just trying to remember how I sleep when I'm nutty in summer? With no sheets on the bed.
Probably
how it
lucky
goes.
you don't, cover the beans with
But
the
how
Frank.
there's hard you can't control. There's no control. You have no control. Like this guy might, if he's like boxer shorting it all the time, there's really no support for the Frank and beans.
Kind of goes where it goes, doesn't
It goes where it goes. It'll go where it wants to go. It'll wake up when it wants to wake up. It'll do all that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you're if you're at a fitted jock, okay, and I've never been a fan of like boxer shorts, to be perfectly
No,
honest.
the boys need a home.
Boys need to feel supported and cared for Okay, but I don't know when you're. I would probably have to set up a camera to watch back footage to
Please
see.
don't.
I'm not going to, but I would have to. I also get, when you go to those places when they sleep therapy places and they study you while you sleep. I've never been, and I don't want to go because I don't want to know what they're doing to me when I'm asleep. Do you know they put do you have sleep app? You know the places I'm talking about. Okay. I'm not talking about a knock shop or anything like that.
Oh, root shop.
Yeah, root shop. I'm not talking about that. But I would just be very, I don't know.